Okay, I had to come back to my actual Edmodo page, but I think you get the picture at this point. So I'm going to go into my real Edmodo homepage, which has a lot of things left over from last year. My last year, as I told you, I called them my 2011-2012 students. This year, I'm going to separate them into subgroups, whether it be by classes, it may be by learning abilities and so forth and so on. They won't know. They would just know that they have different groups, and maybe depending on what they're reading, some of them may have different reading assignments depending on their levels and so forth. So you can differentiate instruction in the way that you design your groups and subgroups, or you can do like I did last year, which might be easier for you and might not. One group, everybody join that same group, but I think it'll be easier this way to at least separate it by classes. So I'm going to use last year as an example, but let's just say I want to assign a quiz, and you saw me create a quiz in the previous video. I want to load a previously created quiz, and you see a lot of copies of, because for some reason students may not have, or they started the assignment before they were supposed to, they didn't read the directions, so forth and so on. So let's say language review. Let's say I want to assign this quiz, and I want it to be due on Monday. Okay, generally I would assign a quiz on a Monday that's due that Friday, after they do all of the other digital assignments and get a little bit of practice, and then they'll take that quiz before they take the actual test. Or they can take, I have given actual tests, unit tests through Edmodo. So if I do this, the students will take the quiz, and they'll know that this is the day. I can even go in and edit the quiz, or I can select a different quiz as you see here. But this is what I want to bring your attention to that I failed to mention the last time. If I want the results of that quiz to show up in my Edmodo Gradebook, I have to click or check that little box that says add quiz score to the Gradebook. And you would probably want to do that for every quiz. It just depends on if you're just giving a quiz as a background knowledge assessment or a comprehension check, or and you don't really want it to go against their grade. I guess you may not care to do it that way. But if you just want to get a nice comprehensive view of where your students are, I would add quiz score to the Gradebook. All right, and you send that to those students, and they'll get it. And right now, my students from last year will get it. I'm going to have to go in and archive this group, because many of them do have their Edmodo accounts connected to their Gmail accounts or their email accounts, which come directly to their phone. So they would take their quizzes on their cell phones and so forth and so on, and you'll see that. So I sent that quiz, and I want you to go here at the top of the page. This is where you would see all the different groups that you have. So if I have my 2011, I'll tell you about this in just a little bit. But right here, this is the group that I created. These are all the groups that I created, and I want to see their grades. So I want to click grades here. I probably shouldn't be showing you the students' names. I wish I could cover that up. But this is what the Gradebook looks like, and I'm kind of glad that you can't see anything. But normally you will see, there you are, you will see the grades. So I'm going to quickly get off of that because I don't want to get in any confidentiality issues there. But these are just, and it's not saying that this is their actual grade. It's just saying, and some of these I had some of those were just video assignments where you watched the video and responded to it, and so that's why there was no grade there. Others did have a grade, and that's where your Gradebook will keep up with all of your scores. Also, if you click on a quiz, if you go over here to more, okay, and this is by me, Mrs. Dale. If I want to click on my quizzes, and let's just say I want to get an overview of how well my students did on a particular quiz, I can, and these are all the quizzes that I gave last year, and you can see the due dates, and it shows how many people. You see 68 students, 67 students, how many people turned those quizzes in. Sometimes I had to do duplicate quizzes, but so let's just look at this one. So I'm going to click on this quiz. I have 77 students that turned it in. It shows me not only their scores, but if you notice on this side of your screen, you try not to look at the left side, but on this side of the screen, it shows me which questions. It gives a question breakdown. You see, number one, most of my students did well there. half of the class missed number 4 almost, okay, and a fourth of the class, and so forth and so on. So I might go back and look at question 4, question 5, and question 15. Something there, I dropped the ball there, or something there, the kids just didn't get it. So this is great data for us. And up here, you can notice it shows the high scores. And so all of this is great. You get this instant, on-demand feedback when you give assignments and quizzes in Edmodo. Isn't that great?